Did you know that 75% of home buyers over the last 2 years have regretted their home purchase according to a Zillow survey? Want to make sure that you're not one of those 75% that are remorseful over buying a home? We're talking about the things you need to know before purchasing a home, and we're doing it right now. Let's do it. Welcome back, everyone. Jonathan McCoy, Atlanta's Real McCoy here, trying to help you navigate the waters when it comes to purchasing a home. For those that stick around to the end of this video, I got something super special for you that will be a takeaway for you, especially for you first-time home buyers out there. Well, without further delay, let's get to it. Number one, it's never too early to contact your real estate agent. Guys, whether you're a year out, 6 months out, a month out, you can't contact your agent too early to discuss with them your purchasing needs. When doing this, you get to ask them all the questions that you need to know about your home purchase, whether it be the areas you want to move in, what's happening with the market and prices, their thoughts on interest rates, different types of home loans you can possibly get. I mean, the list goes on and on. So guys, there's not an agent out there that doesn't want you contacting them about purchasing a home. Number two, home owning can be expensive. There's so many people that jump into purchasing a home that don't really understand the cost of maintaining that home. And it's not just about cost, it's also about time. It takes time when you own a home to make it yours, whether it be painting, whether it be cutting the yard, whether stuff comes up like a roof needs to be replaced, HVAC goes out, water heater, I mean, the list goes on and on. There's so much to do when owning a home and maintaining it. Now, one of the issues that's happened over these last 2 years is there's been too many people purchasing homes that they're maybe not getting an inspection on because of the competition in the market, or they get the inspection but don't really understand the true cost of the items in that inspection. So you want to make sure that you have an agent representing you that knows the ins and outs of a home, that can get you connected with the right people that know costs and give you the right estimates. But just know that going into a home is going to cost you a good bit of money. And we're not just talking about down payment, we're talking about home maintenance. Whatever the purchase price is of your home, take about 1% of that, and that's about the amount of money you should be taking out every year to maintain your home. Now you might say, hey, Jonathan, I just bought a brand new home. I don't need maintenance on it right now. Well, guess what? 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, when things start going out and you start replacing stuff, that's where saving this money up and having it set aside in a spot where you can have access to it is going to be super helpful. Number 3 thing to know, get pre-approved early, okay? Before you start looking and dreaming about the home that you want, you need to contact a lender and go ahead and get through the pre-approval process. This way, you know how much that you actually can get a loan for. For some people, they can get a loan for a lot more than they thought, and for others it's less, and some are right on. But there's 2 parts to this. It's not just getting pre-approved for a loan and what you can afford. You also need to think about what you feel comfortable in paying. Because I promise you, most people get approved for something that's a lot more in terms of monthly payments than they want or think they can handle. What you want to make sure you do is discuss with your lender not only what you can be approved for, but what you feel most comfortable in terms of your payments. Get that set. Once you know how much you can afford and want to pay, then you have your set number. Then you can start looking at homes and see what's available out there. 4th thing to talk about is you don't need as much money down as most people think. You may be asking, what's the cost of purchasing a home? Well, you can get a home for 3% down, right, for the loan. So let's say you're going to purchase a $400,000 home. Right, you need $12,000 for that 3% down. So not only do you have down payment when you're purchasing a home, but you also have closing costs. And closing costs are going to run you about 3% of the purchase price of the home. You've got your down payment at $12,000, you got your closing costs at an additional $12,000, 3% of that $400,000 home we talked about buying. So we're looking at $24,000 that you need to have ready to go to be able to purchase a home. This is kind of the minimum. I mean, there are programs, if you're a veteran, you can actually do 0% down. If you live much further out, you can get something called a USDA loan that's also 0% down. Number 5, and it's the big thing in real estate, people always talk about location, location, location. And when I talk about location, 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 I'm not talking about just the specific city. I'm talking about the neighborhood. I'm not just talking about the neighborhood, I'm talking about the specific house you're buying. It's important to investigate the location of the home you want to purchase. When you purchase a home, it's a great idea to go by and drive by that home and the neighborhood on different days and different times of the day. What happens is when people purchase a home, sometimes they don't think about, hey, I purchased a home that maybe backs up to a busy street. Maybe there's lots of road noise at certain times of day. Maybe you purchase a home for a neighborhood that is off a busy road, but you're not on the road, your home's further back. But getting out of that neighborhood can be a pain. Maybe there's not a traffic light there to turn left on easily, and so every time you get out of the neighborhood, you might have to turn right, do a U-turn, and go the other way. Investigating a home is important. Another thing about buying with location is this. Some people, they might want the house more than location, or at least they think they do. So they're like, hey, the house that we want with all the details, we can't buy in this location. We actually have to go maybe 30 minutes out to get the home we want. So people go, okay, let's do that, and we'll just commute back and forth, whether it be commuting for your job or commuting to see friends. Well, then after 6 months, a year, that gets draining pretty quickly, especially in Atlanta with all the traffic we have here. It's very important to know where you're commuting to for not only work, but again, friends and family and things you like to do. I would strongly suggest that you take a look at your current life right now. What do you do? What do you like to do? What do you get frustrated by? If driving in the car is not a big deal for you and you don't mind spending an hour in it because you get to listen to your favorite podcasts, then maybe that commute's not a big deal. But if you get frustrated day after day of sitting in traffic, then buying further out in a different location other than maybe your work or where your friends are at, it might not be the best thing for you. If you love just popping out of the house to go to parks or take a jog or go on a bike ride or whatever the case may be, and the neighborhood you're looking at isn't conducive to that, then again, this location might not be right for you. So really take a look at what you love to do, what your passions are, and see if the location that you're looking to buy in fits those. Number 6 thing, and we already talked about this a little bit, investigate the neighborhood. Is this an HOA or not an HOA? Find out, because some people like HOAs, some people don't know about them. So investigate the HOA. Next thing is, you're gonna wanna find out, hey, are we right next to a water treatment plants or a landfill? Are we next to a lot of industrial places that have big trucks going by all the time? Am I near an airport where planes are constantly going to be flying over? All these things are things that you need to investigate in terms of your location, but that specific neighborhood you're looking for. Talk to neighbors too. Find out if there's things that you might not be aware of. Ask a neighbor, hey, how do you like the neighborhood? You may have kids and you want other kids in the neighborhood. Find out if there are a lot of kids in the neighborhood. You may not like kids. Find out if there's a lot of kids in the neighborhood. Whatever the case may be, investigate the neighborhood to the best of your ability. And a great way to do that is asking neighbors. Number 7, and that is, don't worry about the minor issues when purchasing a home. Hey, if the home needs a new roof, that's not minor, that's major. If the home just needs paint or some flooring, that's something easy enough to fix. If the home has countertops you don't like in the kitchen, okay, no problem. Now, if the layout of the home doesn't work and you're having to knock down walls, that's a bigger issue. Talk with your agent and they can help you kind of discuss what the minor things are versus what the major things are. But don't let the minor things take you away from a purchase that would be perfect for you if it's the right price point just because you don't like the paint. Thanks for sticking around to the end. For those that stuck around, I told you I got something special for you. Click down below, there's a link for a document for you for the 7 biggest mistakes that first-time home buyers make, or really any home buyers make, that you'll want to avoid. So click that link below, it's free, get that document for you. Once again, I'm Jonathan McCoy at Atlanta's Room McCoy. If you're needing some real estate needs, get my contact information below. I'd love to help you out. I post videos just like this one on a weekly basis. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.